Houston residents are continuing to deal with devastating flooding this morning, what Harvey is bringing here to southwest Louisiana. And Governor John Bel Edwards is asking for an emergency declaration for several southwest Louisiana parishes ahead of Harvey.
And with Harvey's impacts here across southwest Louisiana, flooding being our biggest concern today, we'll have the latest on that increasing flood threat and a potential for a second landfall of Harvey later this week. Your forecast is straight ahead.
Sponsored by Nissan of Lake Charles. At your service with news for southwest Louisiana. This is 7 News Sunrise.
4:30 now, and many of you have been waiting up for the latest updates on Harvey and all of this rain falling. Ben,
Yes.
Recent band just kind of came through the Lake Charles area.
Yeah, we've had some bursts of heavier rain, but one band of rain in particular I'm watching and concerned about is over into southeast Texas. We'll get to it. Here's the latest on Harvey. Right now, winds are at 40 miles per hour. Notice the movement. It's headed back toward the southeast, which means it's pushing back over those same areas it made landfall. Right now, it's close to Port O'Connor. Here's the latest track carrying it closer to the Gulf of Mexico. As expected, this storm is likely going to reemerge briefly into the Gulf waters. It's not really going to do much, though, as far as strength in the storm, although it's likely to maintain its tropical storm force winds for the next few days. In fact, here's a look at the radar. What we're concerned about right now is flooding. We have flash flood warnings that are in effect for Calcasieu, parts of Beauregard, and a lot of the southeast Texas counties where there is one band of rain in particular I'm watching closely over around Beaumont down to Port Arthur and Sabine Pass. It's that one little band, feeder band, that is gradually shifting more to the east and north and will likely be what gives us a significant threat for flooding later this morning. Notice the movement very slowly getting closer here. We're already seeing some of that very heavy rain over the western part of Cameron Parish around Johnson Bayou. Embedded within that, there could be some brief spin-up tornadoes. We've had a number of tornado warnings out now over the past 48 hours as a result of this. You'll see, though, back off to the west here, getting a nice break in the rain in Houston. In fact, there's some dry air that's getting sucked into the western side of the eye here, and that's giving the Houston area a break. It's this one band in particular, though, that actually extends all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico. You see how far out it goes. That's moving a little closer to our area, and it's that band of rain that's going to be what dumps potentially 5 to 10 inches of rain over parts of southwest Louisiana just today. A tornado watch is in effect through 1 p.m. and a flash flood watch in effect through Thursday evening. I'll have much more ahead on Harvey for you coming up in just a few minutes, John.
All right, Ben. Catastrophic and life-threatening flooding continues in Houston. Over 1,000 people have been rescued so far. The storms claimed the lives now of at least 2 people in Texas. Authorities expect the death toll to rise. Agencies say more than 24 inches of rain fell in 24 hours in Houston. The head of FEMA says his agency will be in Texas for years, adding this storm will be a landmark event. The Coast Guard is even asking residents to mark the roof of their house so helicopters can see them from above.
We would ask that you mark your roof to be seen from the air, wave sheets, towels, or anything to get our attention. And think about safety if you are going on the roof. This is going to be a prolonged weather event.
The National Weather Service is calling Hurricane Harvey unprecedented and beyond anything experienced. Well, the recovery from the destructive winds and rains of Hurricane Harvey has only just begun. Kerry Sanders shows us some of the images of the aftermath.
The water came up so fast there was no time to evacuate La Vita Bella nursing home. Trapped residents, many in wheelchairs, waist deep in water. When this shocking picture went viral, only then were they rescued by helicopter. Tonight, even with 3,000 members of the National Guard deployed across southeast Texas, rescue efforts and a humanitarian response stretched to the limit. Lines for gas.
No more gas. No.
Lines for food.
I'm just trying to get food and water, anything I can, because, I didn't suspect this hurricane to be that bad.
Tonight, more than 75,000 people are still without power.
Just a whole bunch of waiting. That's all you can do is wait until the power comes back on.
Roads like this one in Rosenberg have collapsed. In Victoria, 30 miles inland, evacuees who returned from a shelter today found their apartment building burned to the ground. In Galveston, a flash flood alert remains. Harvey slammed the Texas coast as a Category 4 hurricane. Under cover of darkness, its peak 130-mile-per-hour winds ripping through the small community of Rockport. The fury hitting Corpus Christi, Port Lavaca, Galveston. The damage estimate runs into the billions, and the storm is not over yet.
Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards is asking for a federal emergency declaration for 5 parishes, including Beauregard, Calcasieu, Cameron, Jeff Davis, and Vermilion. This is anticipation of possible heavy rains in our area. The governor says more parishes could be added as needed. Governor Edwards is reaffirming his promise to help out neighbors in Texas. Many in our state are familiar with this kind of weather.
Everybody in Louisiana is watching TV right now, and they're seeing those images coming out of Texas, and we've seen an awful lot of that here in Louisiana, and the folks in Texas are going to be going through this for quite some time, and so we certainly offer them our assistance as best we can to be a good neighbor for them, and we offer them our prayers as well.
A team from the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness is on its way to Texas. A group of volunteers with the Cajun Navy is headed to Texas to help flooding victims. This is the same group who helped rescue thousands last year during historic flooding in Baton Rouge. Their plan is to use social media and their growing connections to find and help flood victims.
We all did it back in August, and these guys over there need us, so we go where we're needed.
Other volunteers are also working to collect food and water to take to communities in Texas as soon as they are able. Here in Lake Charles, an emergency shelter is open at the Purple Heart Rec Center near Sewella. It's at 4305 Avenue H. About 35 homeless people who had been wet for 4 days were picked up by volunteers in the community and brought to the shelter. They got hot showers, food, and cots to sleep on overnight. There's still a lot of space available at the Purple Heart Rec Center if you know someone who is in need. And if you'd like to help out the cause, many people in the shelter need undergarments and dry clothing in all adult sizes. Well, Calcasieu and Cameron parishes are preparing for devastating flooding. Kayla Courvell is live this morning in the storm to tell us what's out there so far. Kayla?
John, what we're seeing right now, I think, is the calm before the storm. As Ben said, there's a couple of bands moving through now, but nothing too major, just a few sprinkles. That major band will come later on this morning. Just driving around town in Lake Charles, nothing was impassable. There was a lot of water on the road, so I would recommend from now on, if you do have to go out, be very, very careful, but I would recommend staying inside today. You can see behind me that there is a sewer overflowing. This is on Kirby and Bank Street, the intersection there. What we saw yesterday was a lot of flooding, and I think that's where these barriers came into play. And right now, we're not really seeing anything. I think with this little break in action that we have right now, just some light rain right now, I think that's given the water time to go off the streets before this next band of rain comes through. But we'll continue to be out here throughout the rest of the morning to monitor what's going on the streets. I would recommend, again, you stay off the streets today because this is only going to get worse. John?
All right, Kayla, we'll expect more reports later this morning. Thank you. And with the threat of flooding, there are many schools closed today. All Calcasieu and Cameron Parish public and private schools are closed, along with Jeff Davis. They'll join McNeese State University and Sewella Technical Community College. As you can imagine, this list will be updated as the day and week goes on. You can find more information, including local businesses that are closed today, at kplctv.com and your 7 News mobile app. A family in Lake Charles is grateful things were not worse after a tree falls on their house. We'll see their story next. First, though, another check of your weather as Harvey moves towards southwest Louisiana. It's 4:39.
It's Billy Navarre Chevrolet's biggest SUV sale ever. Save $10,000 on new Billy Navarre Chevy Equinoxes, Traverses, and Trax. That's $10,000 in savings at Billy Navarre Chevrolet in Lake Charles or Sulphur.
After my hysterectomy, I noticed I have a little bit of urinary incontinence. Spoke to Dr. Mollison. He mentioned the Core 2 Intima laser that would help tack up my bladder. The procedure is in his office, about 10-15 minutes. There is no pain, no downtime, no aftercare. When I jog, I don't have to worry about looking for that next bathroom stop, not having to get up 4 or 5 times in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. The urinary incontinence is totally gone. It's been wonderful.
About 5 years ago, I began to have a lot of neuropathy pain. The nerves were like screaming in my legs and feet. And finally, when it got to the point that I couldn't even walk to the car, I knew I had to do something. I saw the commercials from Dr. Sean, and I had the same symptoms and problems that those people did, and I knew if he could help them, he could do something for me. Within 2 weeks, I was able to start doing things that I had not been able to do before. Got the balance back, I got the strength back, I'm working in my garden, growing tomatoes, and the one thing I love most of all, I'm riding my bicycle again. You got pain? Then you need to see Dr. Sean. He made my life better.
If you have pain, pick up the phone and call now to receive your first visit for only $47.
I'm Dale Kyle, and I'm pain-free.
It's Billy Navarre Chevrolet's biggest SUV sale ever. Save $10,000 on new Billy Navarre Chevy Equinoxes, Traverses, and Trax. That's $10,000 in savings at Billy Navarre Chevrolet in Lake Charles or Sulphur.
4:42 now our time. We'll give you an update on the radar. This is our biggest concern today is this band of very heavy rain over southeast Texas, and it's the thing that I'm most concerned about for today. Notice we're not seeing a whole lot of rain back behind that one heavy band of rain, though. Good news for Houston getting a break from that heavy rain. In fact, they're just seeing a few showers now, but of course, unfortunately, the damage done there, and there's got a potential for more rain over the next few days. But again, it's this one area of heavy rain from Beaumont stretching all the way down to Sabine Pass that's producing a little bit of lightning, but a lot of heavy rain. The rainfall rates within this are going to be high enough to cause some quick rises here on the streets and roadways as this moves here into southwest Louisiana over the course of the next few hours. And again, our hope is that this can weaken a bit after daybreak, but I think we're going to have some problems as the heavy rain threat continues to increase gradually over the course of the next few hours. Again, that flash flood watch in effect all the way through Thursday, but I think we could see some spots, John, that pick up 5 to 10 inches of rain just today with the way it's looking right now. Coming up, I'll have a much closer look at Harvey's eventual fate as it could make a second landfall here across the Gulf Coast later this week. We'll talk impacts to southwest Louisiana coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right, Ben, thanks. 4:43, and while some residents in Lake Charles are dealing with heavy rainfall and street flooding, a family had a massive tree fall on their home yesterday evening. KPLC's Paris Jones spoke with that family.
This all happened at the house that you see behind me here on the 1900 block of 8th Street. Now, witnesses say there was no wind or rain in sight when the tree fell on the house, and it has them confused as to how this even happened. Complete shock from residents living along 8th Street after seeing a tree fall on their neighbor's home.
All of a sudden, I heard some cracking, and I was like, oh, Lord Jesus, please don't let this tree fall. Please don't let this tree fall. It just fell.
All we heard was a boom, and we all looked, and that's when the tree was falling.
Residents living inside the home say they were lying down, and out of nowhere came a loud sound.
We just heard a big boom. We hurry up and get out of there, came outside, and there was a tree.
Fall down.
Yeah.
Sequoia Thompson and her family were safe, but she says the damage to the home is too significant to move back in.
Pretty much the house has shifted, so we're just going to have to get out of here.
But Thompson believes the amount of rain they received lately because of Harvey caused the ground to saturate until it can no longer support the tree. Thompson says even with the loss of her home, she's grateful everyone is safe.
You know, just being able to get out with nobody being hurt is a blessing.
Ben has the forecast for this Monday, and of course we'll look at all of the rain that's expected to fall over southwest Louisiana related to Harvey. 72 degrees now downtown Lake Charles. It's 4:44.
We will not be undersold. Sleep easy knowing that you got the best deal possible at Mattress and Waterbed Gallery. Find a lower price anywhere in town and we'll beat it guaranteed. With over 100 sets to choose from. Mattress and Waterbed Gallery, one of Serta's largest Louisiana dealers.
I'm from a special generation. Different. We changed history. So nobody's going to tell me how to live at 62. I'm going to live the way I feel. And I feel good. I'm a doer. Nothing's going to hold me back. But I'm not overlooking my health. No way. That's why I have Memorial. They're the best. A different kind of health care for my generation.
Buying a car or truck? So you find a good deal, you get approved for your loan, and wait a minute, you find out that Southwest Louisiana Credit Union will beat the interest rate you got? Whoa, hit the brakes. Yep, in most cases, we'll beat the other guy's rate by a full %. Want to refinance? Same deal. Southwest Louisiana Credit Union will beat your old rate. I mean, let's get those payments down. We are here to help because we care. Because we're not a bank. We are Southwest Louisiana Credit Union.
Nice ride.
Come on in to Telecris Plasma at 1001 Gershon Memorial, where you can help save a life and get compensated for your time. Come on in and come save a life.
KPLCconnections.com, your link to Southwest Louisiana.
Hi, welcome to Oak Park Dental. Made you smile.
Made you smile.
Gonna make him smile.
She made me smile.
I'm going to make you smile. You're going to smile. Made you smile.
Made you smile. And we'll make you smile too.
A day at the park will make you smile.
Why put up with average when you can have the best? Get to Nissan of Lake Charles now for the all-new 2017 Titan. With more available options than Chevy or Ford, you get standard features like best warranty with 5 years, 100,000 miles bumper to bumper. Best standard towing and horsepower. That's towing up to 12,000 pounds. All standard. Better than Ford. Better than Chevy. Don't settle for less. Starting at only $34,780. Or get a featured lease for $399 a month and see why people are saying Titan is better.
And remember, at Nissan of Lake Charles, we're making deals every day.
From the 7 Storm Team, your first alert weather with meteorologist Ben Terry.
All right, first off, I want to get to the radar and kind of show you what we're looking at here with this rainfall. Not all that heavy at this point. There are some bursts of heavier rain here over parts of southwest Louisiana. But again, it's this band of rain I was mentioning earlier that we really got to watch for later this morning as it treks closer our way. This is what could likely dump 5 to 10 inches of rain over our area today. I think the fear is that this band could get closer to a setup, a threat here for additional rain on and off through most of the day. So something we're going to be watching closely. If there's any good thing about it, we're seeing a lot of what we call dry slotting going on over on back into Texas here. Dry air getting pulled into the storm, and that's giving Houston a break from that heavy rain at this point. But you see this one little feeder band all the way down south of Brownsville that is slowly moving off to the east. And this is what's going to be moving our way later this morning and providing us with that threat of heavy rain, potential flooding today. Here's the water vapor. I wanted to show you this as well. You can see that drier air kind of getting pulled in to Harvey now. And that's really helping to weaken the storm a bit, but it's also cutting off that flow, that tropical flow that it had a lot of across parts of southeast Texas. See all that convection, though, here right over southwest Louisiana. And again, it's not that dry slotting is not really going to do much for us today with regards to what's now pushing in, out of southeast Texas into southwest Louisiana. With that said, 100% rain chances all day today. In fact, the winds also picking up. You probably noticed the winds a little bit stronger right now if you're out there. In fact, Cameron right now reporting a gust of 31 miles per hour, sustained winds at 20 to 25. In fact, our Cameron Skycam kind of wiggling around a bit this morning. 35 is what we're recording on the Cameron Skycam right now, live from down at the Jetty Pier this morning. 77 degrees for that temperature now. Here's a look at Futurecast. We're going to go with, of course, the high rain chances today. The fear is that heavy rain band continues to slide our way. Again, dumping a load of heavy rain here over southwest Louisiana this morning. Hopefully it will weaken a bit. That's been the trend with these outer feeder bands that move in. They really ramp up at night, and then in the morning, or during the day rather, they kind of weaken just a bit. So that would be our best case scenario, but it keeps that load of heavy rain potential over us throughout the day and even into the evening. So what that means for us today is that we could really see these numbers add up. We've got the highest totals, Cameron, western Calcasieu parishes, but even into Lake Charles, there could be some rainfall amounts over the next 24 hours in some spots here, close to 10 inches of rain. I know our Futurecast model here is showing 11 inches of rain. We'll say widespread, though, from north to south, 5 to 10 inches of rain. Obviously, I think there will be some locations here north that don't see as much. We're talking up into Allen and Beauregard parishes. But as we go into Tuesday, adding a little bit more to that, and that's some of those locations up north of our area, we'll see those numbers add up as well. So impacts, again, isolated spots up to 10 inches possible just today with some of that rain moving into our area. Widespread totals of 10 to 15 inches, as much as 20 over the next 5 days as this system continues to stall. And what we've already seen so far, these quick spin-up tornadoes. All right, let's talk about Harvey's track and eventual push back toward our area over the next few days. Models have this coming back out over the Gulf of Mexico. The good thing is these Gulf waters have undergone what we call upwelling, and they're a lot cooler now. In fact, the Gulf waters off Cameron Coast, 79 degrees. So the water temperatures have really dropped here in this area. That's not really going to give it a whole lot of additional fuel for strengthening, but what it's likely going to do is keep it a tropical storm upon this second landfall sometime Wednesday. Right now, the Hurricane Center with the 4 o'clock advisory has it moving back with the center line here somewhere over southeast Texas, perhaps near the Sabine River. That's going to keep us on that dirty, wet side of the storm with those tropical rain bands still an issue for us as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So that's why we're talking about multiple days here of rain. Expect street flooding if you have those sandbags already. If you live in those known trouble spots, a good idea to just kind of prepare for that. Again, best advice, though, today is just to stay put unless it's an actual emergency, especially with what we are forecasting now with heavy rain pushing in over these next few hours. And there's not really a whole lot of model divergence on this track as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. The European model shows it more over southwest Louisiana with that track carrying it almost right over us by Wednesday and Thursday. Again, wind issues. We may see some tropical storm force winds by Tuesday night into Wednesday. We're already seeing some gusts close to that this morning, though, so we're not expecting a whole lot of an increase in those winds. Biggest threat, though, is going to be the heavy rain and flood potential all the way through the latter half of the week. But again, particularly concerned because with these rain bands that move in, and one that's moving in this morning, quickly dumping heavy rain, I think some areas could see 5 to maybe even 10 inches of rain over the next 24 hours.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Just this whole forecast has been amazing to watch. Okay,
mind-boggling.
It is. We have mentioned all of the school closures here so far this morning. Just got an email from Beauregard Parish Schools and said due to the road conditions and anticipated additional rainfall, all Beauregard Parish schools will be closed. Today, we'll continue to monitor rainfall amounts and road conditions to determine any additional closures. We again add Beauregard Parish schools to the list of school closures today. Calcasieu, Cameron, Jeff Davis as well. All right, Ben, 4:53. Coming up in our next half hour, President Donald Trump is headed to Texas this week to see all of the devastation caused by the flooding from Harvey. First, so let's look at Skycam from Cameron again. 77 degrees now. We'll be right back.
At Delta Downs, we're famous for exciting casino and racing action. And with a stunning new hotel, pool, and restaurant, the new Delta Downs is just too good to pass up.
Attention, if you're 50 years or older, this message is for you. Millions of Americans were exposed to asbestos working in factories, oil fields, refineries, shipyards, paper mills, and other jobs prior to 1982. You may have been exposed and qualify for cash compensation. This is not a lawsuit against the company you worked for. Schedule your free asbestos health test today. Call 855-579-5299. That's 855-579-5299.
I'm Glenn. I'm from Lake Charles, and after graduating from West Point, I spent 12 years in the Army, including a tour in Afghanistan where I was part of the 3rd Special Forces Group. I used the skills I learned in the military every day at Sassaw. Skills like problem solving, procedural discipline, teamwork, and most importantly, safety. I'm proud to work for a company with a world-class safety culture. Sassaw is building careers, and they're also helping build a better Southwest Louisiana.
Enjoy amazing savings on Serta's best mattresses during our Labor Day sale.
Hurry in now for great Labor Day deals on your new Serta mattress. or visit CertaRetailers.com. Visit a participating retailer at Mattress and Waterbed Gallery and Hometown Furniture.
I'm Gail.
And I'm Connie.
And we're living the pain-free life.
It's the luxury car giveaway, only at Delta Downs. We're celebrating this Labor Day by giving away a 2017 Mercedes-Benz C-Class sedan or BMW 3 Series sedan. Just take I-10 to Vinton. Visit deltadowns.com for details.
The people and places of Louisiana are truly one of a kind. From our pine forests to our fertile fields, our capital city to our coastal waters. We all rely on our locally owned independent pharmacies to have what we're looking for when we need it. Many of our stores are well-stocked diabetic shops, and our friendly pharmacists fill your prescriptions quickly and take time to answer all your questions. With over 100 stores throughout Louisiana, there's a health center pharmacy near you.
The Sunrise Wellness Tip is sponsored by your local independent pharmacies. Health Center.
4:56 now, and your daily wellness tip today is to make a first aid kit. When a storm hits, one of the most important things to have on hand is a first aid kit packed with different items. That's always included in the hurricane tracking charts and things like that.
That's right. It gives those good tips on things you can put in that kit just to prepare before.
Sure.
Of course, now we're kind of too late for that, so hopefully you've got those things stowed away if they do come into being needed. And, of course, today it's just going to be mainly a threat for flooding, and that's one of the things we're going to be worried about really over the next 24 to 36 hours, just due to the fact that we've got this one heavy rain band that's just set up here over southeast Texas, now inching ever so close to southwest Louisiana. In fact, we're going back to the close-in view of radar here. Right now, the good news is to report we have no active tornado warnings. That's one of the issues that we've seen overnight with these rain bands that have been moving ashore. It's just the very heavy rain now with it, and embedded within this is some lightning as well. Heaviest activity around Johnson Bayou up into the western side of Cameron Parish. Probably seeing some flooding already going on in that location. Here in Calcasieu, we're looking at just kind of a burst or two of rain. Nothing, though, at this point that looks like it's causing any street flooding. But as this line, I kind of draw a line on here, see it inching closer to southwest Louisiana this morning, and that's what has me worried as we head closer to that 6 to 7 o'clock hour, as people might be hitting those roads to head out and start commuting. So something we'll watch closely for you. Of course, best advice, if you don't have to be out on the roads today, just stay home. That is your best option. Coming up, we've got much more news ahead after the break. It's 4:57 on this Monday morning edition of 7 News Sunrise. Don't go away.
At Billy Navarre's Quick Lube and Car Wash, our oil change service is, well, quick and easy, and we will have you out in minutes. And when it comes to tires, we carry most every major brand at the lowest prices, guaranteed, at Billy Navarre's Quick Lube and Car Wash in Lake Charles and Sulphur.
Madam Foreman, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. Jury awards plan of pain and suffering $4,050,000, lost earning and medical $1.550,000, and $12 million for punitive.
This is a real verdict from a real case. At Bag & McCall, our verdicts and settlements rank among the top in the United States. That's because serious injuries require serious lawyers. Remember, choose your lawyer carefully.
I'm from a special generation. Different. Yeah, I use this little device for just about everything. But when it came to finding my OBGYN, I asked the people I trust most, my best friends. They both love their OBGYNs at Memorial. So I did my research and found the perfect doctor. That's why I choose Memorial. They're the best. A different kind of healthcare for my generation.
We will not be undersold. Sleep easy knowing that you got the best deal possible at Mattress and Waterbed Gallery. Find a lower price anywhere in town and we'll beat it guaranteed. With over 100 sets to choose from. Mattress and Waterbed Gallery, one of Serta's largest Louisiana dealers.
Make it a sunrise day. Weekdays beginning at 4:30.
From everyone at Billy Navarre, we'd like to thank the over 6,500 customers that made last year one of our best ever. We truly appreciate all of you and look forward to serving you again soon at the Billy Navarre dealerships in Lake Charles and Sulphur.
The 7 Storm Team Skycam Network is sponsored by Billy Navarre. With quick service and low prices, we challenge any dealer in America to beat.
Tropical storm Harvey continues to wash over parts of Texas and southwest Louisiana. We have the latest this morning.
Plus, we have how you can help people in need right here in southwest Louisiana.
With Harvey still over land and the devastating flood in Texas already over the weekend, we've got heavy rain associated with Harvey that could cause flooding over southwest Louisiana today. We'll have a look at your forecast straight ahead.
Sponsored by Nissan of Lake Charles. At your service with news for southwest Louisiana. This is 7 News Sunrise.
Good Monday morning to you. It's 5 o'clock on this August 28th. I'm Britney Glaser.
I'm John Bridges. Good morning. Terry, you were concerned about a band of showers to the southwest of us earlier, huh?
Still watching it. Yeah. Of course, it's going to be one of those slow movers that drifts our way and likely provides us with significant impacts today as far as heavy rain and a threat for flash flooding. Here's the latest look at Harvey. It's actually moving back toward the coastline there. It's closer to Port O'Connor this morning, closer to those areas where it made landfall, as the track's going to carry the storm back out over the Gulf of Mexico briefly over the next 24 hours. Impacts to us, though, aren't changing much. They're going to come in the form of very heavy rainfall, and right now we're seeing that band of heaviest rain still over Jefferson County, Orange County, and the western side of Cameron Parish. Still yet to really push into Calcasieu with that heaviest rain, but it's getting ever so close as we go through the next couple of hours. I think we're going to be seeing this band of rain where it's setting up now just literally inch closer into Calcasieu Parish. That's why the threat's going to be ongoing throughout the morning of flooding here across our area. There you go. We've got flash flood warnings in effect now still for Calcasieu Parish for the anticipated additional rains that we're going to see today. Again, backing out this view, this is really the heaviest rain band that is associated with Harvey overall. There's been kind of an absence of rain over a good chunk of southeast Texas, thankfully, around the Houston area overnight, as some what we call dry slotting has occurred with some drier areas getting pulled into the storm. That's cut off a lot of those heavier rain bands. Secondary threat still there for tornadoes. A tornado watch in effect through 1 p.m. this afternoon for Calcasieu, Jeff Davis, Acadia, Cameron, and Vermilion parishes. Of course, we have that flash flood watch in effect through Thursday evening for all of southwest Louisiana. Coming up, I'll have a closer look at Harvey and the expected rain over the next several days. That's coming up in the forecast in just a couple of minutes.
5:02 now, and Governor John Bell Edwards is asking for a federal emergency declaration for 5 parishes in southwest Louisiana.
Those parishes include Beauregard, Calcasieu, Cameron, Jeff Davis, and Vermilion parishes. This is in anticipation of possible heavy rains in our area. The governor says more parishes could be added as needed. As rain continues to move through Texas into Louisiana, KPLC's Kayla Courvell is getting a look this morning at what residents are waking up to.
Kayla is live in Lake Charles. Kayla, I know it's dark out there right now. Have you come across much water on area roadways?
So far, nothing that I've seen has been impassable. I know Enterprise, which we'll see in the next half hour, had probably the most amount of water on it that we've seen. What we are seeing is that a lot of businesses here on Pre and Lake Road have sandbags in front of their doors preparing for this potential flooding. We're also seeing a lot of sheriff's deputies and police officers out and about. I know later today, Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office is prepared to do water rescues if people decide to brave the roads and the flooding through this storm. I would recommend that no one go out today as the rain continues to move through southwest Louisiana. We're not seeing a whole lot right now. It's just kind of sprinkling, but this is not going to be the same story in a few hours. So we'll continue to be here to bring you updates. John and Brittany.
All right, be careful out there. KPLC's Kayla Courvell again. Not seeing a lot of water covering the roads right now, but seeing where businesses have sandbagged just in case. And with the heavy flooding right now, there are many schools that will be closed today. All Calcasieu, Cameron, Beauregard, and Jeff Davis Parish public and private schools will be closed today. They join McNeese State University and Sewella Technical Community College. These closures will most likely be updated as the day and week goes on. You can find the full list, including local businesses that will be closed, online at kplctv.com as well as on your 7 News mobile app. State offices in Calcasieu and Cameron parishes are also closed today. Officials say they will monitor conditions and may update their hours throughout the day. If you've not yet picked up sandbags, you would need to get them today. There are still some available, and we have a complete list of sandbag locations online at kplctv.com. Here's a look at the line at Burton Coliseum yesterday. We can tell you that it took about 2 hours for some people to get their sandbags. Tropical Storm Harvey continues to force thousands of families from their homes in southeast Texas.
Sarah Daloff reports emergency crews continue to work around the clock to handle an overwhelming number of calls for help.
This morning, on the run from the remnants of Hurricane Harvey. Everything is destroyed. Thousands of Houston residents forced from their homes by record floodwaters.
The water was up to here. I walked out and I was just like screaming.
As helicopters plucked people from their rooftops, officials put out a call for help.
Those of you who have boats and high water vehicles that can be used in neighborhoods to help move people out of harm's way, we need your help.
And Texans responded, strangers helping strangers to safety. The problem's not just in Houston. In Dickinson, Texas, this photo taken of residents at La Bella Vita nursing home, later rescued by helicopter. Houston's mayor defended his decision not to order an evacuation ahead of the storm.
But I want to thank those thousands, in fact, millions of Houstonians who heeded the advice and did not get on the road.
Praising first responders and ordinary citizens for their response in the face of catastrophe. In Texas City, Texas, Sarah Daloff, NBC News.
Houston traffic cameras captured the dramatic rescue of a driver stranded in a flooded car overnight. In the video, you can see the driver of a white SUV stuck on the I-10 freeway. Harris County firefighters say the driver crawled out the back window to escape the floodwaters. The firefighters come to the driver's rescue, steering a boat up to the SUV and pulling him into the raft. Firefighters drove the man to dry land nearby. Covering a storm, of course, is not easy, especially when your studio gets flooded. Look at this. This is KHOU's TV station in Houston. That's Channel 11 there. They were on the air as their studio took on water. They've had to evacuate. The reporters are still working around the clock from a secondary location at a nearby bank. And I was talking with or saw a notice from a former reporter here at KPLC, Miranda Smith, and her husband, David Paul.
Yes.
Is a meteorologist at Channel 11. They said they were setting up at the PBS station, I think, in Huntsville to broadcast from there. So
pretty wild. At one point, they had one reporter who was doing all of their live coverage, and
she had to stay on.
They stayed on, and actually, it was crazy to see. While she was on, she was hollering for airboats to come and rescue people, and watching that all unfold on live TV.
Real action.
Really wild. Take a look at this video. This is from Hackberry over the weekend. Picture sent in to us from Cameron Parish OEP, the Twister flipping a camper on its side. We're told no one was in the camper at the time. 7 News was able to speak with a witness.
And then all of a sudden, that's when the cloud came down and it just made a tornado, and just that quick, you know. It happened within a minute, you know, under a minute. As soon as it went down and it came up, and it was fast as it come and gone, is just as fast as it went, you know. It's just, I mean, I can understand why people get hurt in these storms, you know. They happen so fast. By the time I seen it and decided to look at it, I mean, there would have been no time for somebody to even react to it.
There is a tornado watch right now for Acadia, Calcasieu, Cameron, Jeff Davis, and Vermilion parishes. An emergency shelter is now open in Lake Charles.
When we get back after the break, we'll tell you about the space available at the Purple Heart Rec Center near Chenault. Also, some of the needs of those finding shelter there. It is 5:08.
Now at the Honda Summerbration sales event, you can get a great deal on a Honda Civic and keep things festive all summer long. Your unforgettable summer begins today with a trip to the Honda Summerbration sales event. The sun is setting on these amazing deals. Get a Honda Civic today from KBB.com's Best Value brand. Ends September 5th.
Whether it's tires, brakes, alignment, oil changes, or scheduled maintenance.
With 2 locations to serve you, Delta World Tires with you every mile of the way.
KPLCconnections.com, your link to Southwest Louisiana.
The moment you realize there's nothing original about your original floors.
At Lowe's, we have all the latest flooring styles and trends at prices you can afford. Get wood look tile starting at only 99 cents per piece at the Lowe's Labor Day Savings Event.
Before they can stand tall, they must first learn to stand out. Get everything they need to shine for less. This week at Staples, shop our 97-cent deals. Staples, it's pro time.
Expressions is a happening place.
Expressions is a jewelry store.
Expressions has something for our new home.
Expressions has something for everyone.
Expressions has free gift wrapping.
Have you been to Expressions lately?
You know what's going on again at Popeyes? Here's a hint. Need a bigger hint? It's the $5 bona fide big box. 2 pieces of my chicken or 3 tenders, 2 sides, and a biscuit for just $5.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
I'm Mike Willis, and I'm proud to introduce to you the all-new Mike Willis Ford. Being raised right here in Southwest Louisiana has taught me the value of community, teamwork, and family, and I pledge these values to you. We have an incredible, hard-working, and dedicated team here ready to serve you. To us, this job is personal. It's more than just vehicle sales and service. It's the relationships we form in the community along the way. So thank you to all my customers over the years. Because of you, this dream has now become a reality. So stop by and witness world class at Mike Willis Ford, Sulphur, Louisiana.
All right, meteorologist Ben Terry back here with you. We are going to get to the forecast for today. Of course, we're calling for that chance of rain today at 100%. And I was just looking at an advisory that just came out from the National Weather Service. We have a severe thunderstorm warning out for that cell in northwestern Cameron Parish. Winds perhaps up to 60-mile-per-hour gusts. So, again, it's located over the Sabine National Wildlife Refuge. Let's get over back to radar where I can show you what we're tracking here. This is that one suspect cell that I'm concerned about as far as flooding. But there's going to be gusty winds associated with this as well. And, again, this is the cell that's producing the severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this is over a fairly uninhabited area here in Cameron Parish, but we're seeing those winds. I'll take the lightning strikes off where you can see the box here, the yellow box. That's where we have the severe thunderstorm warning. It's moving. Let me get back over here and read the warning information off to you one more time. Off to the north at 25 miles per hour. So again, Johnson's Bayou, Constance Beach, you're also going to be impacted by those winds that could be gusting up to 60. So definitely stay inside again as this storm moves through, because we can have a little bit of perhaps wind damage with this one. We'll put it into motion. You can see all this gradually pushing its way closer to the rest of Cameron and eventually into Calcasieu parishes later this morning. So yes, we'll have that threat for flooding, but like we're seeing now with these more robust storms moving in, perhaps some gusty winds as well, gusting up to about 60 miles per hour. Coming up, a look ahead at the rest of the day's weather. That's straight ahead in just a couple of minutes.
5:13 now. An emergency shelter is now open in Lake Charles at the Purple Heart Rec Center near Sewella and Chenault.
That's where KPLC's Candy Rodriguez is now. Candy, can you tell us what the shelter is doing?
John, luckily, more than 20 people found shelter here at the Purple Heart Rec to get away and out of those storms. Early this morning, we already see some storms hitting our area, and that's not part of the heavy rain band that we are expected to see later this morning. Now, joining us live are some of the volunteers with Water Edge, the church here in Lake Charles, who put this together. Guys, thank you. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. You guys haven't slept all night.
No, ma'am, not yet.
And so tell me a little bit about how this came about and why you guys decided, we need to take action.
There's a lot of people chipped in on this. There's just a large amount of homeless in this town that needs help, and luckily prayers were answered and it came together and we started gathering people up, and the volunteers just poured in with food, supplies, bedding. It's just been an amazing night.
And that's exactly what you can see right here behind me. I'll let my photographer go around so he can kind of show you some of the donations that we have in here. And you guys are providing 3 meals a day for people up until the next 72 hours, correct?
Yes, ma'am. 48 to 72 hours we are covered. We've had volunteers that are going to cook breakfast. People are bringing in stuff for lunch and dinner. center as well. Plus, as you can see, plenty of snacks, drinks in between, trying to make it as comfortable as we can for anybody that does come in.
Now tell me, what is the biggest need right now that you guys see?
Right now, the biggest needs would probably be towels. These people are coming in dirty. They need a good shower, clean up. Bedding supplies such as blankets, pillows, loose-fitting sweatpants for them to change into after they clean up. Plain white T-shirts are really great. Flip-flops or sandals. Everybody that's coming in has got soaking wet feet. Their shoes are wet. So something for them to be able to put on while their other stuff is drying is very, very helpful.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Now, you guys did tell me there are about 35 cots that they have. 24 of those cots are currently being occupied. Those people are in the gym part of this recreation center sleeping right now, but they're not going to turn anyone away. If you are displaced from your home because of the flooding, you can come on by. This is located on Avenue H, right next to Suella. It's nearby, and we'll have that information posted on KPLCTV.com and on your 7 News mobile app. For now, live in Lake Charles, at your service, Candy Rodriguez, KPLC 7 News.
Great they could set up that shelter, and the pictures that were posted on Facebook overnight. You saw the Mayor Nick Hunter, unloading the cots and things like that, and truly a grassroots effort getting that set up.
They were fighting for that, just knowing how many people in our community were in need, and people who do want to help, of course, they're not advising you if you're in an area with street flooding to drive through waters to try to get there to help. But if you are in a position where you can, then they can coordinate that.
What dry clothing and dry socks will do.
As we head to the break, if you have flat bottom, low water boats, please call the Houston Police Department.
The number at the bottom of your screen, 713-881-3100, is the number of the Houston Police Department. Again, they're needing flat bottom boats in that area. So are the Cajun Navy heading that way, or is already there, as a matter of fact, helping out with rescue.
And such a neat group. Whenever there's a need, they arrive. Ben's going to tell us exactly what we could be expecting with our forecast here today. A lot to be determined.
Look at the winds in Cameron Parish on Skycam, 30 miles per hour right now. You can see Skycam kind of shaking out there. It's 76 degrees in Cameron.
Sonic's got some bold new wing flavors.
Eating these wings without a fork? Now that's bold. Don't worry. It's a wing. It'll fly back. Return to me!
Boneless wings are now buy one, get one free Thursdays, 5 p.m. to close. This is how you Sonic.
Why put up with average when you can have the best? Get to Nissan of Lake Charles now for the all-new 2017 Titan. With more available options than Chevy or Ford, you get standard features like best warranty with 5 years, 100,000 miles bumper to bumper. Best standard towing and horsepower. That's towing up to 12,000 pounds. All standard. Better than Ford. Better than Chevy. Don't settle for less. Starting at only $34,780. Or get a featured lease for $399 a month and see why people are saying Titan is better.
And remember, at Nissan of Lake Charles, we're making deals every day.
The pain in my leg started 2 years ago. It had a hold on my life. I have a family history of heart problems, poor blood circulation. It's like it'd be just burning like fire in the calf muscles. I have a high tolerance for pain, but the pain in my leg was just too much. If anyone has pain, I would recommend them seeing Dr. Chandra.
Pick up the phone and call now to receive your first visit for only $47.
I'm Pete Dronette, and I got my life back.
Is your bank costing you money? Maybe it's time to get free. At City Savings Bank, freedom is yours.
Free checking?
Free online banking?
Free mobile banking with free mobile deposits?
Free debit card?
And best of all, you're free to switch to City Savings Bank. Now that's freedom. Why pay for something you can get free? Open an account at City Savings Bank. It's as simple as 1, 2, free.
Long live the fearless, and long live the trucks with load-leveling suspension to shoulder the weight. You connect with an 8.4-inch touchscreen and the superior ride and handling to help you go above and beyond. Get a great deal on America's longest-lasting pickups during the Ram Labor Day sales event.
Get 0% APR for 72 months or finance and get 20% off total values on the 2017 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab.
These signature drinks are so sophisticated, I brought along a sommelier to help us enjoy them.
My drink is cold.
Expand upon that. Is it sweetness, sour, umami?
Ooh, mommy, this is good.
Try 25 signature flavors from our millions of drinks. This is how you Sonic.
From the 7 Storm Team, Your first alert weather with meteorologist Ben Terry.
And with the rain bands of Tropical Storm Harvey heading our way, we'll get you update with the latest advisory from the Hurricane Center. Winds at 40 miles per hour. It's located now 15 miles north-northeast of Port O'Connor, Texas, moving southeast at 3. So the storm's still a tropical storm over land, and it's getting closer to re-emerging back out into the Gulf of Mexico, where it could maintain its strength with those tropical storm force winds. One of the questions we've gotten a lot about is, what about these bayous, rivers, and the rises that are expected? Well, there's still a lot of unknowns, and these forecast crests that are put out by the National Weather Service are likely going to change quite a bit over the days ahead. I will give you the latest forecast that we have, though, today. That's the West Fork of the Calcasieu at Sam Houston Jones State Park right now. Current reading right under 3 feet. Looks like we could see some significant rises today due to the rain that's expected, up to a crest of 5.5 feet by the 30th at 7 a.m., 5.5 feet there. Along the Calcasieu River at the saltwater barrier, another one of those could be problematic spots over the days ahead. Right now we've got the levels right at minor flood stage at 4.1 feet. It's going to be heading up to perhaps as high as 5.5 feet. And then again, with the tidal fluctuations here, we could see it go up a little bit more than that. So that could cause some issues with boat traffic along the Calcasieu over these days ahead. Old Town Bay, we've got levels right at 5 feet. So we're already seeing some minor flooding going on along Goss Ferry Road and those normal spots there, maybe up to 5.5 feet. Again, I would expect these crests to change as the river forecasts are updated and the rainfall that falls is input in those river forecasts. All right, heavy rain is a concern now. I mentioned earlier we've got that severe thunderstorm warning, northwestern Cameron Parish over Sabine National Wildlife Refuge. This is heading to the north about 25 miles per hour. We kind of put a track on this entire batch of heavy rain just to kind of give us an idea of what we got coming. We've got some light to moderate bursts of rain over Lake Charles, but it's beginning to about the 7 to 8 o'clock hour. I think that's when some of this is going to begin to really stretch its reach over into the rest of Calcasieu and Cameron parishes and give the area a concern there for flooding. And it's this very outer band that we're worried about here as it gradually marches eastward. Not a lot of rain back over near Houston, though, for now. There's been some dry air pulled into the storm. It's cut off a lot of this rain closer to the storm center. Unfortunately, it's not going to do us much good with that band that's moving over us right now. The computer forecast models keep rain chances high through the day. I'm particularly concerned about flooding today. In fact, I think there could be some spots that see 5 to 10 inches of rain over the next 24 to 36 hours, as our forecast models here are showing by 2 a.m. Tuesday. It's putting some areas here in southwest Louisiana over Calcasieu and Cameron parishes at 10, 11 inches of rain. Not as much to the north, and I think that's going to be because of the proximity of where some of those heaviest rain bands fall this morning and on into the afternoon. But the rest of our areas still could see some of those higher totals over the days ahead, because this system is moving back out over the Gulf. It's going to make a second landfall sometime Wednesday and Thursday, moving across northwest Louisiana. That means for us, the rain threat remains a factor for the next several days, and then that's going to be prolonging this event even more. Already fatigued enough as it is talking about it, but we've got more to come. In fact, here's the projections from the National Hurricane Center. Here we are as we go into Wednesday into Thursday, moving across somewhere near the Sabine River and then pushing on up into North Louisiana by Thursday, and then by Friday and Saturday making a departure to the north. So we've got more rain on the way. In fact, we're going to be talking about those heavy downpours moving in today. Best advice would be, if you've got to go outside and travel today, just stay indoors, stay put unless it's absolutely an emergency. We've got rain chances high today. I think we're going to see an additional threat of rain, perhaps even some heavy rain overnight tonight and into Tuesday. But biggest concern today is going to be flash flooding. If we see 5 to 10 inches of rain today, we're going to have issues on the roads, the streets, and unfortunately, if we see 5 to 10 inches of rain in a 24-hour period, we're probably going to see, and as we've seen in the past, water could enter some homes. So something we'll have to really be mindful of. Of course, hopefully for those spots that tend to flood, and you know where they are if you've had flooding before. Hopefully you've made those preparations with the sandbags and are ready for what could come today.
And stay off the roads unless you have to be out.
That's right.
Okay.
That's because, of course, flooding is a big concern as Harvey moves in. Coming up in our next half hour, what to do if the roads flood. And
we have an update to airport schedules after the break that could affect your flight if you were scheduled to leave this morning. 5:24. This is 7 News Sunrise on KPLC.
It's time for Bolton Ford's Back to School Super Sale on America's best-selling brands.
Like 2017 Super Crew XLTs take $14,500 off.
Bolton Ford, the #1 selling Ford dealer in Louisiana, where our people make the difference.
Need glasses now? We have a lens lab in every store and can make them for you in as little as 30 minutes.
Right now, get 2 pairs for $38.71 or 2 pairs progressive for $76.92 at Eyewear Express.
Right glasses,
right price,
right now.
Long live the fearless, and long live the trucks with load-leveling suspension to shoulder the weight. You connect with an 8.4-inch touchscreen and the superior ride and handling to help you go above and beyond. Get a great deal on America's longest-lasting pickups during the Ram Labor Day sales event.
Get 0% APR for 72 months or financing at 20% off total values on the 2017 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab.
Summer's hot, right? You feel like your hard-earned money is going up in smoke. Summer's expensive. Send the kids to camp, take a family vacation, pay those huge air conditioning bills. Ouch! But with a summer loan from Southwest Louisiana Credit Union, you've got summer licked. Get up to $5,000 with rates as low as 5.99%. Before you know it, it's back to school time, more expenses. Want to skip a payment? Southwest Louisiana Credit Union says no problem. Bank's giving you the cold shoulder. We're not a bank. We are Southwest Louisiana Credit Union.
Cool. The famously flippable, often imitated, never duplicated Dairy Queen Blizzard. There's absolutely nothing like it. Unless there's 2. Right now, buy your favorite Blizzard and get another for just 99 cents. That's buy one, get one for 99 cents.
Sasol supports 3 local partners in education, representing over 1,000 students and over 100 teachers by donating programs that enrich students' lives.
They provide cutting-edge professional development for our teachers to ensure students receive the best education possible.
Sasol understands there is more to child development than what's taught inside the classroom. Their employees mentor our students and serve as role models.
Sasol is building community,
and they are also helping build
a better Southwest Louisiana.
It's time for Bolton Ford's back-to-school super sale on America's best-selling brands.
Drive a new Focus for $13,990 or a new Fiesta for only $11,990.
Bolton Ford, the #1 selling Ford dealer in Louisiana, where our people make the difference.
526 now, and Harvey's impact to the oil and gas markets remain unclear.
Throughout the Gulf Coast, key refineries and production facilities have been forced to close. ExxonMobil shut down its refinery in Baytown, and that is the second largest refinery in the country. Officials say a hurricane response team has been activated. As flooding from Tropical Storm Harvey cripples parts of Louisiana and Texas, airports have become a major concern. Lake Charles Regional Airport has canceled its flights for today. Flights into Houston have been canceled. Houston's George Bush International or Intercontinental Airport is closed as of this hour, and Houston's Hobby Airport is also closed until Wednesday morning. The two major airports in Houston shut down, and of course Lake Charles does commuter flights to Houston and Dallas, but they have shut down all their flights. A lot
of people having to switch to Baton Rouge or New Orleans for their flights.
Right.
All right, watching heavy rain on the radar. I'm tracking it for you in that latest on the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for parts of Cameron Parish. After the break, it's 528.
Hi, I'm Mark Boniel, owner of Mark, where we sell Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. And at Mark, the summer clearance event is saving our customers thousands of dollars. Like a $12,000 discount on a 17 Ram 1500 crew cab, or get 0% for 72 months. Or take $7,000 off sticker on a 17 Jeep Cherokee Latitude. And unlike some of our competitors, we have plenty of these ad units to choose from. So come save thousands today at Mark in Lake Charles.
Come and see us at Accessory Zone for your apparel, gift, and accessory needs. For that special gift, we do monogramming. We also do ear piercing from infants to adults. There's no appointment needed.
KPLCconnections.com, your link to Southwest Louisiana.
It's true, fans are craving Dr. Pepper more than ever, so I've assembled a team. They're not exactly 5-star, but they've got spirit. We'll be at tailgate, the cheap seats, love seats. If you're craving Dr. Pepper, we'll be there. We'll be everywhere! And yes, we are taking walk-ons.
I'm in.
Doug Flutie? Flutie's in! Let's go, Dr. Pepper, hip! Here's the boys' medium.
That'll work.
It's the final days of the Summer Drive sales event at Billy Navarre Chevrolet in Lake Charles and Billy Navarre Chevrolet in Sulphur. Save 20% off MSRP on a great selection of new Chevys like Malibu, Impala, and Sonic. Pay just $319 a month on new Chevy Silverado crew cabs. Plus 0% financing for 72 months can save you even more. So for 20% off a great selection of new Chevrolets and $319 a month on Silverado crew cabs, hurry to Billy Navarre Chevrolet in Lake Charles and Billy Navarre Chevrolet in Sulphur, your Lake Charles area Chevy dealers.
I'm Harvey Manu, and I'm paying free.
The 7 Storm Team Skycam Network is sponsored by Billy Navarre with quick service and low